them will work.
Yeah.
In their country?
Let me tell you, you make a misunderstanding of the Chinese people's ownership of the house.
Yeah.
They do not exactly, all the house was public ownership. This belonged to the government.
Yeah.
I tell you that the land was public owned. Public ownership. So the land is a public ownership. The result in the flat and apartment is 17 years rent.
Yes, yeah.
70 years
totally
rent.
agree with you. I totally
Yes,
agree. My
so-
country was like that as well.
So, where are you come
I'm from
from?
Afghanistan.
Afghanistan. Okay, yeah.
We used
So,
to follow the Soviet Union style.
yeah.
And
So,
it worked for us. It worked for us.
so I will tell you that, ladies and gentlemen, the people who buy a house is not actually under the scammers. They was scamming all the money from their bank account
Okay.
because the Chinese government wants the people to spend the money, but the Chinese people they have the habit to save the money. They don't want to spend the money. So how can make the people to spend the money? If you think about that, we sell the house to the people.
Yeah.
Okay, we sell the house to the people, the flat to the people, but the land is a public ownership. They cannot change this constitution. Yes, they cannot change. So we sell them, we treat them. That's your house, but they under the 70 years rent of the land.
But 70
So-
years, brother, you die, I'm dying.
Yes,
die.
but you cannot pass the house to your sons.
I understand.
Yeah, you
That's
can understand.
That is the way it should be.
So the Chinese people become slave of the bank
Oh,
because a lot of the money. Let's buy a house. It was 150,000 pounds
yeah.
or 200,000 pounds. This is a lot of money. You cannot afford so many cash. You don't have so many cash in your bank account. So you borrow the money from the bank. The bank
And the
belong.
government.
Banks under the government's management. This belong to the government.
And also-
So those people become a slave of the bank. The bank is under the government. So the land is a public ownership. Public ownership belong to the country, belong to the government, and the bank is belong to the government. So all the people
Yeah.
is a slave of the government.
But brother, oh my God, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Imagine in my country, if we have got a Chinese-style communist party,
Yes.
they were working for the people.
Yeah.
And why should I feel that I'm slave? If my country,
Yes.
excuse me, is in charge of me, and all the whole people, there is no discrimination against me. If there is no class system so much high, so if everybody is happy here, everybody is like belong the same level. Why should I think that I'm slave?
Yeah,
I cannot be slave.
because that's, ladies and gentlemen, the Afghanistan, you are Muslim countries.
Yeah.
So you have the faith, you believe the God.
Yeah.
But China, we don't have the faith. We don't have the belief. Most of the atheists, they are atheists. They don't
yeah.
believe the God.
Yeah.
Of course, China have the traditional
Chinese.
religions, but those was also disappeared. Most of the people was forced by Chinese government give up the belief and believe the communism. But in 1991, Soviet Union fall makes most of the people in China they lose confidence on the communism. So they lose faith, they lose believing. They don't believe. They don't know what should be believed. They don't believe the God. They don't believe the communism.
Okay.
They become the empty. They believe what? Money.
Money. Okay.
So this is the big trouble, A
Yeah,
lot of people big
I agree,
trouble.
it is getting out of control, but it is because they're leaning towards the capitalism, the Chinese.
Yes,
Yeah.
but in the Western country, I've been in the United States for a long time.
Yeah.
If you've been California, been in New York City, New York City, New York County, New York the state, Florida, those people were rich. They are not have the townhouse. They have an independent house.
Oh my God.
Each one is
Private.
independent, private house. and the horse with a big grass,
Okay.
big grass, big lawns.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
That's beautiful. And some horse they have the swimming pool,
Okay, okay.
the swimming pool,
But-
a private.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yes, but what happened? Yeah, compare with China, the United States is more rich.
Exactly.
Compare with UK,
Thank you.
the people's more rich.
Exactly. That's what I'm
Yes.
saying. That. Because they're rich, my friend. That's why it means it works for them. You cannot be the same level as you, as them.
Yeah, if you, yeah, I live in Beijing.
Yeah.
200,000 pounds, you can buy a house in the United States.
Okay.
You can buy a house in the United States, even in California. It's the
250.
highest price. Yes, very expensive real estate price
Yeah, yeah.
in the California. So you can 200,000 pounds. You can buy a house, but this house is a permanent ownership by you.
I know, but
You can pass to your son. Your
You're
son
talking
can
about
pass to your
ordinary
grandsons.
people. In America, ordinary people are my friends. They are suffering so much. There is no free health for them. You know the health.
Yeah,
in
NHS
China,
system.
People
Yeah,
enjoy
free
health,
healthy
free health
care.
Yeah, basic.
Yeah.
Yeah. In China, you do education is free for you. In Chinese for Chinese people. Education
No,
is
it's not free.
No.
It's only 9 years from primary
I know,
school
but
to the
even-
middle high school.
Even if it is you pay,
Yes.
it is not a lot as you pay in American over it. It's not. It's not. I don't know what, but I see when I compare America and when I watch people talking Americans when they, some of them move to other countries and they say this is you cannot afford to be there anymore.
Yes, if you got a job in the American, they have the minimum wage. Minimum wage,
Okay.
15 pounds, the $15
An hour,
in the
okay.
California, or even in the Arizona is $12 like this.
Okay.
The minimum in the whole United States, lowest the minimum wage is $9 per hour.
Okay.
So if you work 40 hours per week, you can have $400 a week. $400 a week is less on the mall like
Yeah.
this about.
Yeah.
This is $400 is if you work in China, you don't have the minimum wage.
Yeah.
It's a very low salary.
But
200 pounds
Same
is
as-
1 month's salaries.
and same as with expenses and all
Yeah.
other things.
So
Because in China, you don't need to, for example, pay lots of bills.
Yeah,
In America, you have
you-
to pay insurance, you have to pay lots of things.
you must, yeah, in China you pay same.
Yeah,
You
but-
pay for your house, you pay for your rental,
Yeah.
you pay for your
But
food,
this is not as much
you
as-
pay for your utility, you pay for your water, electricity,
You know
and
the-
and you must pay for your health and education.
I know, but what I'm not a lot, not a lot.
But not too much because of the
Yeah.
Chinese living cost is lower.
Exactly. And also
Yeah.
the government has
But-
given subsidized a lot of things. For people.
Subsidize
Yeah.
even the old people when they get sick, they must pay the bill by themselves.
Okay. Yeah.
It's not all the medicines under the NHS system. China have an NHS system.
I'm only comparing, my friend, two populous countries, which is China and India. And
Yeah.
I see one is backward,
Yeah.
very backward country, and
Yeah.
China is
Is a forward.
Do you know the Chinese standard is I read about is similar to Slovakia, which is in Europe. This
Slovakia.
is a lot of high position
Yeah, yeah,
compared to India, my friend.
yeah.
So have you traveled to India?
Yeah, never been.
You never been to India?
Yeah, never been.
In my opinion, you have to understand this. If you wanted to suggest some way for them so they should, bring themselves up, you suggest. But to me, if those Indians would have followed a socialist system, they would have been a very, very good country, very respected country.
India have the problem is culture divided.
Yeah.
The India have too much diversified cultures, and those peoples do not united.
No,
They work
cannot
for
be
each small groups. The infighting is too much. So why China can grow so fast? Because they have the centralized government.
Oh, yeah.
But we don't deny. In the past 40 years, China have a very good economic growth. We do not deny that. We cannot we cannot neglect the Chinese growth and Chinese successful in the economy.
Okay.
So, but China have the big problem is political control. Political control is too much. They control your ideologies.
Because-
they control your
excuse me,
thinking.
because they
Yeah.
have experienced a lot of and they, you know, like neglect the Chinese people, my friends. The reason they do that because these European they have abused China, and they went
No,
there.
in
they
China's
humiliated
in
Chinese.
history of
So
China.
now they
yeah.
say, for example, they say, okay, we have to, you know, be vigilant.
Yeah, vigilant
not-
is
not
right,
to-
but it's because of the government's afraid of the
Yeah.
overturn by foreign governments.
Yeah.
They take control everything, but they forbidden, they ban the Google, Facebook, Instagram,
Because they have
even
got their own version.
TikTok.
Yeah.
They have their own versions, right? But in the Chinese histories, 5,000 to 1,000 years before, the strongest dynasty, Tang Dynasty, the China is so open. They don't
okay,
forbidden,
those
they don't ban the talking.
a different
They
era,
don't
brother.
control of
That
the
was